Growth in Oregon earned the state a new congressional district, and the race for Oregon's 6th district seat is going to be a competitive one.
And nearly every poll shows a tight race between Republican businessman Mike Erickson and state lawmaker Andrea Salinas, and this could determine control of Congress in Washington. Our Brandon Thompson joins us now. I know you spoke with both candidates, learning their priorities, and what a fascinating race. A whole new, brand new congressional district in this state.
Yeah, no incumbent, and there are some similarities between the two, but their policies are a different story. Now, here is the district. It stretches from the southern Portland suburbs down south to Salem and includes the western edge of the coastal range to the west. Now, both candidates do not live in the district, and they both say their fathers were police officers, but their policy differences are deep. Both Erickson and Salinas have experience running in elections. Erickson ran for Congress in 2006 and 2008, losing to Democrats both times. This time, he senses Oregonians want change.
There are so many problems, not just Portland, but Salem and everywhere. I mean, the homelessness and the drugs.
Salinas has served in the state house since 2017 after being appointed to her seat. Before then, she was an aide to Senator Harry Reid and Congresswoman Darlene Hooley in Oregon.
How would you respond to people who worry that you may be advocating for Democratic priorities versus the priorities of the 6th congressional district?
Well, I would say, one of my favorites, and I continue to say this, was Congresswoman Darlene Hooley. And she did such an amazing job. As a field aide, I understood how to go out and talk to people, and she really made sure that she addressed the needs of her constituents.
One of Erickson's top platforms is crime and public safety.
Outside, you see needles and people sleeping and vomiting on the streets. I mean, it's just a real problem.
And blames Measure 110. But in terms of things he would do in Congress, he pushes for accountability.
I think we really need to hold the DAs and judges more accountable for prosecuting people, especially with gun violence and gun crimes, where you go out and commit a crime and rob a store with a gun. You should be serving your full time.
Erickson has spoken out against defunding law enforcement as well. Salinas points to her record as an example of what she'd do if elected.
I have invested in our state police, and we actually increased police funding just this past session with an additional $34 million for our state police. And I think investments are necessary, especially if we're talking about changes in training.
This race could decide control of Congress as the new district has moved from leans Democratic to a toss-up in both Politico and Cook Political Report's analyses. DHM Research surveyed Oregon voters and found abortion access is important to 3/4 of voters.
Restricting abortion nationwide, would that be something you vote for?
No, I think the Supreme Court decided that pretty clearly, that it shouldn't be a federal issue, and I agree with that. I'm a states' right advocate.
Salinas made abortion access a key platform in the primary and believes Oregon's protections for access cannot protect it from the federal government.
The federal government can overturn that in a heartbeat should Republicans come into power.
As inflation has remained steadily climbing as the election nears, Erickson says he would not have voted for the Inflation Reduction Act. He says he'd tap into his experience running a supply chain consulting firm.
If you really want to get inflation under control, we got to get two things. We got to get our supply chain costs down. We got to get the price of oil and gas back to where it was. That's a huge driver. Become energy independent. And then we got to do everything we can to get the national debt under control.
Salinas would have voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, but says it did not go far enough.
Continuing to make sure that we open up the petroleum oil reserve to make sure, again, that we are pushing down on those gas prices, and really looking at what role corporations play in these gas price hikes.
And in the close race, it's a steep hike in the final days of the campaign trail. I also asked where each candidate sees issues where they could work across the aisle. Erickson says he wants to push for more oil development, but does see opportunities to support green and renewable energies. Salinas says she's found bipartisan support for health care issues in the State House and thinks she could do the same in Washington. And we talked about that political report. When they first analyzed this race in April, it was likely Democratic. So now it's a toss-up showing how things have changed.
And we were discussing this with you as well, is that that'll be interesting come election night. Will we have results that night, or will it be something where we wait another day or two because of the mail-in ballots here with races like this one?
We might have to be patient that night.
I have a feeling we will have to be patient that night. Thanks as always, Brandon. Great reporting right there.